Is it just me, or are the female characters in this series way more badass than the male characters? I don't know. Is that just a thing? We already have my girl Mikasa. And then in this volume, Historia just becomes like an absolute queen, alright? Like she was such a badass in this scene, in the final moments of this volume. I was so happy for her. I was so happy with her decision, what happened with her. Holy crap. So, there's so much happening in this volume. There's so much exposition. There's so much information given to you that I didn't go back and reread it over and over and over again. I'm just kind of going off. I just read it. I just finished it. So if I leave out some details or if I can't quite remember a few particular things, I apologize about that. But I think I understand the gist. I think a few questions were answered here. I think one is, what is the Titan juice that you are injected with? That's not necessarily what it is, but what it does. So, okay. So I was thinking maybe it went hand in hand with erasing memories before. Turns out that's not the case. Turns out it just gives you the ability to turn into a Titan. How and why, I don't know. I'm sure it will be answered at some point. And we also learned secrets about this Reese family, and that their particular lineage has been handing down this secret of humanity for their entire existence inside the walls. Inside, behind the scenes, they're not presenting themselves to be the king, the rulers of the world, but they are, you know, behind the scenes, the true kind of knowledge, the higher knowledge, the hierarchy of what's happening is like, this is the family. This is the true royal family, if you will. So apparently years and years ago, when the Titans first attacked, or when the walls were first built to protect humanity, there was a Titan that could control the other Titans, that could basically do all of these incredible, amazing, larger-than-life things. It could control the Titans, and it could, in fact, erase memories of humanity. Like, with its power, it could build the walls, it could do all of these things. It was basically God, is how it's presented. It's basically this godlike being that came down, that led humanity into the walls, that created the walls, that erased humanity's memories, and for whatever purpose we don't really know. And that's kind of the theme of this volume, I feel like, is this idea of God, and this idea that, you know, the reason it makes these decisions is somehow beyond our capacity to understand why it makes these decisions and whatnot. And so the reason why is still the question that we don't know, but we know the how now. Or I should say, I know. You guys all know. You know what's going on already. I'm like super far behind. I know now. So the how is that it has this incredible power to control the Titans, make it do whatever they want to. But now that lineage has been interrupted, because apparently every single generation, whoever had the Titan power would then pass it down to the next generation. And you have to do this by consuming the person that has it. So they would be chained up, like I said, King Kong style, and then the Titan would come and eat them, and then pass down that power through this kind of consumption. And this kind of goes into these bizarre kind of ideas of rituals, like ritualistic sacrifices and whatnot, and kind of things that you would consider to be more like demonic, right? Not something that you would consider holy or godly, but then again, a lot of the times the lines are blurred, and things that are godly and things that are demonic are pretty close to being exactly the same, and if not interchangeable at times. And so so this whole idea of this ritualistic sacrifice, somebody giving their life in order for other people to obtain knowledge, you know, it's something seemingly barbaric. But then again, if you look at a lot of kind of these rituals and the history of particular religions and stuff like that, there is a lot of kind of primitive, kind of barbaric ideas behind the beauty, the glamour. And I feel like that's a lot what's happening here. Now, the main dude, Reich, I keep pronouncing the name wrong in every video, I'm sorry. I'm horrible with names, you guys should know this by now. But Freda, Rice's daughter, was the last one to have this kind of ability and this power until Aaron's father wanted to stop this, or at least wanted this knowledge for himself, perhaps wanting to become this godlike being itself, because with the knowledge being passed down, you're not just passing down knowledge, you're passing down the power as well. So you have this kind of like omnipotent, godlike power, godlike knowledge that you are able to pass through generations. And for whatever reasons, Aaron's dad must have wanted to disrupt this somehow. Now, how exactly the ability got passed from Aaron's dad to Aaron, I I'm a little bit hazy on that. Is it because Aaron's dad injected him with the Titan's juice, or was it something, or is it just because he's his son? Because it seems like you don't just have it, like you have to literally consume the person. So how did it go from Aaron's dad to Aaron? I think I missed that. I got a little bit lost there somehow. There's so much information in this volume that I think that's just one thing that got lost on me, but it's not a big deal. I'm sure you guys have fill me in on the comments, so I'm not worried about that. What I'm more interested in is Historia's character in this volume. So she, of course, is an illegitimate heir. She was born out of wedlock because Mr. Reese decided to get his noodle wet with some other commoner, right? Out of wedlock or whatever it was. So Rice wants it back into the proper lineage. So he wants to get it back within his family for the Rice family to continue doing what they've done for all of these years. And Historia is the one to do it because she's all that's left. All of his family was killed by Aaron's father for whatever reason. But the thing is, there's still lies being told here. There are still pieces of the puzzle that are not filled in because this man, Rice, I forget his first name, the character's name, but he is a coward. This is how I view his character. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's more to him coming in the future. But he's a coward because first of all, when the original succession happened, his brother got the powers and not him. And it's not really explained if there was like a contest to see who would get it and whatnot, but my feeling is that he allowed his brother to have it instead of himself because I feel like he's a bit of a coward, that he wants this power of God, but he doesn't want to take that burden on himself. He wants to place it on somebody else, which is probably why he had so many children, and which is why he's resorting to Historia, because he didn't want anything to do with her before this. She was illegitimate, she was out of wedlock, whatever it was, and it was only afterwards, he was trying to keep her hidden, away from the world. And it was only afterwards, only now, that he seemingly has no choice, that he comes to her and says that she has to bear this burden, that she has to get this power of God. Like, why? Why is she the chosen one, right? Because there is nobody else left to choose. That's it. Like, the lineage is being severed. It has been being severed by all these conspiracies and whatnot. So, but he refuses to do it himself. He doesn't want to take the Titan serum himself. He doesn't want to do it himself. He wants to put it on Historia's shoulders. And this poor girl, she's been kind of dragged around her entire life. And I understand where she's coming from with this volume, with what's happening in this volume, which is why I say, like, she's probably my second favorite character now, is because she's been pulled around in every single direction without having to make a decision for herself. And it's not in a matter of like not somebody from privilege not having to make a decision for themselves, but more so as she's always been in this vulnerable spot. She's had to have been hidden. She's had to have her identity a secret. Then she's had her a mentor figure with Ymir, and having to realize what happened to her, and then having her run off and everything, and now having to be protected by Levi's group, and then being abducted by her father, and then her father placing this burden on her and everything. And so, like, where is she as an individual? What is she? Is she just meant to be some sort of vessel for somebody else to just inherit an ability that, she doesn't even want? And she makes the excellent point, is that if you inherit this ability and you become this godlike being that you want me to be, then why would you not use your omnipotent power to end this horrible situation that humanity is in? Why would you not use it to completely wipe out the Titans and let humanity thrive? And apparently there's some secret that she will uncover if she does decide to take on this burden that will unveil itself to her. That she will be able to figure out, why the original ruler of this world decided it would be better for humanity to be inside the walls. And whether that's some kind of the concept of, if humanity has a mutual enemy, we will all band together to thrive as a collective species instead of separating each other by race and culture and all that. But we know that that's mostly bullshit. We know that no matter what, humanity is going to find the evil within themselves. Like, there will be a dark side of humanity no matter what. She refuses. She sees her father's manipulative tactics. She sees the coward that he is, and she destroys the vial. And she's like, I'm not gonna do it. It's like, I don't care. If this is the case, if you're gonna give me all of this incredible power, omnipotent ability. You want me to be the child of God or whatever you want to call it, and yet that godlike being is not going to do anything to help humanity. It's going to keep the status quo. It's going to keep people within walls. It's going to keep people where they can be eaten at a moment's notice. It's not going to eliminate the threat, but keep the threat thriving. Then what is this? Like, I don't want to know, you know? It's like, it's saying that, like, if there is a godlike being, then this godlike being is not all good, because it allows these horrible things to happen, which is a profound argument when it comes to, you know, dealing with the idea of God and a higher power and whatnot. And so, or at least this is how I'm interpreting it. I might be completely wrong. I might be completely off base here. But I think where Historia is coming from is like, look, if this higher thing isn't going to do anything to help and is just going to keep humanity suffering, then I don't want anything to do with it. And she goes so far as to, you know, she breaks the vial, she throws her father on the ground, then she goes and frees Aaron. And she's like, I'm not going to do this. I refuse. And I think a signature line that she says that I think has more prominence probably as the series goes on is she says that she is humanity's enemy. And I think what she means by that, at least saying it right now, is that she's seeing the corruption, and she's seeing how, you know, humanity has kept itself, put itself behind bars, behind walls, and has not allowed itself to advance in any way. Has kept it in this weird status quo where, like, you know, particular knowledge is outlawed, and you're only allowed to advance technology so far, and you're only allowed to do this, and like everything has been kept in this like weird gray zone, and nothing's been able to advance or decrease. And I think that's a very strange thing to happen to humanity, which is always constantly advancing and evolving, but they have it in this world of Attack on Titan where everything is just the same. Nothing's allowed to change. And for whatever reason that is, Historia doesn't want that. She doesn't want to have her mind altered in any way where she now thinks that things need to stay the same. She wants to break free. She wants to advance. She wants to become her own person. And she's not going to just take on the ideas and thoughts of another thing, whether it be a person or a god or a titan or all this, they're all the same, they're all one thing. She doesn't want that. So she's going to be her own person. So she's just like, fuck the titans, fuck humanity, fuck all of it, I'm doing my thing. And I thought that was awesome. I thought that was great. It was a great character moment. So what else happens in this volume, man? I mean, you got Aaron, and he's just kind of chained up the entire volume. If he's not being kidnapped or yelling about Titans, then I don't know what he's doing. I know he's got quite a lot of development to come. As of right now, I understand where he's coming from. Like, I understand, like, he's like, just eat me. It's like, I don't know what's happening. Like, I don't know why my dad did this. I don't know why I have this. Just take it away from me. You know, take it away. But I'm sure there's much more to come from him in the future. This was definitely Historia's volume for sure. I know there was more information here. I know there was a battle between Levi's group. They all kind of infiltrate while this is happening, and they face the guards that were there. Hange I don't know if she got injured or if she actually got killed. So I'm curious about that because I do really like her character. She's not one of my top favorites, but I have really enjoyed her. What was up with the dude, the scientist guy that was like human centipeding that one dude and like had him upside down, and he was like gonna make him digest his food backwards? Like, what? That was just that felt so fucking random. I did not understand that scene at all. And then it wasn't touched on at all in the rest of the volume. It was just like that one page, and that was it. So what is he hoping to accomplish by making a man eat food through his asshole? I don't know. And I guess the other thing to know is that Rice did at the very end decide to become a Titan as the serum is on the ground. He like rubs his face in it and whatnot, and he begins to transform towards the end of this volume because he feels he has no other choice. Historia was his last hope as far as retrieving this information and bringing it back to the family line. So now that he has no choice, no hope whatsoever, he hit that peak of despair and he licked up that Titan juice, which, by the way, I don't know. So I'm very interested to see where the story is going to go from here. Our main group of Survey Corps aren't necessarily fugitives anymore. A lot of information has come out to the people, but they still are unaware of the major conspiracy theories that are happening behind the scenes with the Rice family. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll see what happens. And hopefully Aaron kind of snaps out of it and becomes liberated in the way that Historia is. And I don't know how Historia is going to feel about even being with the Survey Corps anymore within that group. So however she feels, but I do really appreciate what they did with her character here and how she found that sense of identity and liberation in saying screw you to everybody that wants me to do whatever they want for them. I'm doing what I want for me. I thought that was great. So let me know what your thoughts are about Attack on Titan Volume 16 down below. Curious to hear your thoughts. Let me know what I'm right about, what I'm wrong about, and I'm just excited to see where it goes from here. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Please give the video a like, a thumbs up, comment down below. All interaction with the video helps me out, helps the channel out very much. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you in the next Attack on Titan review.